Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at a DragonCraft deck. This one is kind of ramp, kind of not ramp. I would actually probably call it Evo Dragon just because of the way it is structured here. Well, it does use quite a bit of ramp. That's mainly just to reach those easy Evos, so you can easily get stuff like Splendorous Rock or the Omen of Disdain free Evo choices, and that then allows you to go for things like Odin and Zeus very easily. So it is quite a well-rounded deck and actually does a lot of fun. So we can get right into this and check it out. So the couple of matches we have in this video are both against Sword, mainly because I found Sword to be quite popular while I was playing this deck for some reason. I did have one Blood matchup, unfortunately they just got literally immediate vengeance and completely crippled me, and I got a really bad starting hand. And I think I had one Elena game as well with this deck while I was going through some testing, and that was a very average one. It wasn't really even worth showing off, unfortunately. It did end up in a pretty early concede because I had insane ramp, similar to this hand actually, which is really crazy. Triple Dragon Oracle works out so well. By turn 3 you can actually ramp all the way up past 7, which is great. So we're actually going to be up to 6 now, and then 7 on turn 4, which will allow us to go for that early Omen of Disdain, which against this board is actually not too bad. I don't think you can really get much better ramp than that, to be honest. It's just insane amounts of value. So there's our first 3 damage to face, and we got a really solid follower on board super early that has to be dealt with. So we're probably going to see this Levin go straight into it. Geno's going to just ram him. We also have double Anne Rose, which I do decide to go with at least the 1 for the Evo so I can ramp up to 10. Since we do have Ranging Dragon, I want to be able to take advantage of him as soon as possible. And I'm quite glad I did go for that option, since we're probably going to need it next turn. Fairly decent trades, going for the Crescent Blade. They didn't go for the attack though with it, so they're definitely holding off. Makes sense. So double N Rose now is actually going to be perfect. We're going to clear this up. And I'll even throw in a nice Disdainful Rending, just to the board enough. Typically I find once you hit the wards with Poseidon, Swordcraft tends to concede fairly quickly. They don't like to deal with those a lot, so if we can just find that, we should be fine. Especially with this board, they have a really good one. If we can find the Poseidon, which we did, you've got to praise those top decks sometimes. I mean, it was almost a 1 in 10, so that's not too bad as far as odds go. We could have also hit any of our other half-decent followers. So that worked out well. I mean, a Zeus probably could have been fine as well, so we had pretty decent odds of getting a good card from that. And for our next Sword matchup, it should be quite fun. This Dragon deck was definitely more about fun overall, I think. It does seem to struggle a bit if you don't get a solid early game, and bricking can become quite easy. So you definitely want to be throwing away things that you don't think you can use early on. Which I decided none of these were worth keeping, and unfortunately bricked my early game fairly hard, which isn't a great thing to happen. Makes the games a lot harder. At least we did get the Dragon Oracle, which makes up a little bit of ground for us, since we are going to get to play that on turn 2 here. And since we are already ahead, because of going first, it should keep us just a little step ahead of them again. Do need a turn 3 play here, and the Draconic Core was all I could think of. Don't want to waste my Servant and my Massa here, so why not? Just means we take a bit of damage. And we're still a turn off being able to Evo. So this time I did just throw Disdain, so I had something on board that had to be killed. Didn't work out for us quite that well though. On the bright side here, it looks like we're probably going to have the 50-50 if we play the Omen now. It may not have been the best choice, but it's the only one that I have a chance of clearing out the Evolved Frog, which is definitely a problem card for us. So I went for the highest value I could get, and managed to hit the 50-50 perfectly. Definitely needed a little bit of luck for that one, but I mean, a 50-50 coin flip, that's fairly fair. Alright, just going wide with their board. It seems like Levin Sword is quite popular. I might have to give that a good check out and actually play a proper full Levin Sword deck. So Warring Flame plus Splenderous Rock on turn 9 is actually not a bad combo either. Similar to Warring Thunder on turn 9 as well. Usually works. So this will allow us to wipe these and keep them both up, while generating 2 free evos. Sword Flash Panther, not a problem. We have got the Poseidon play, so I decided to throw away the Warring Flame, so I can go for the Poseidon Raging Dragon combo that we don't actually need, but that I just wanted to get onto the board, since we do have Zeus for next turn anyway if we want it. And an Evo Zeus would probably be enough to win the game, which obviously the Sword player decided it wasn't worth waiting for and conceded anyway. So while this deck might not be the strongest deck that I've seen around, it's definitely got an interesting enough concept, and Dragon definitely has access to a lot of free Evo options, especially with the Omen and of course the new Splenderous Rock. They definitely do a really good job of getting those free Evos. Also Soaring Dragonute is actually a free Evo as well, so those are actually all quite good ones to get up to get those free Odins and buff your Zeuses. So a lot of fun. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. You will find the deck list in the description below. Until next time guys, see ya.